All right, so it's been a minute. That for sure it has. Um, hold on, let me ascend. Let me adjust. Okay, yeah. So it's been a minute. I have not checked in, and that is on me. I want to say I appreciate each and every person who has reached out to me and has checked in on me to make sure I'm still alive, breathing, that I'm okay. You know, um, I gotta say, means a lot. It really does. And if you ever wondering about your impact, go missing. Go missing. And take that with a grain of salt, right? Because say you go missing, nobody hit your line, you gonna feel it. The average person would feel it. I don't think even I'm exempt from that. I think, you know, hindsight type of situation, if nobody checked on me, be like, ah, man, I'm not doing nothing. But realistically, I get it. It's a big world, 8 billion people. Everybody got lives. We all got things that we're trying to do. So, yeah, to check in on where I am, I think the last I pinged everybody, had a little situation, had to move. Um, and that put me in a predicament, little situation. But we worked it out. I'm very grateful for everybody that showed love and put me in position. Things happen at no fault of anybody's. Realistically, I think we're all human. Um, and to be honest, y'all, I ain't in the win. I'm blessed and highly favored. I'm out here, and I think that that's something that you got to remind yourself at all times. You breathing? Hey man, it's a way to make better, make it better. It's a way to push forward, and don't get caught up in the minutia. A lot of times we set ourselves up to say, okay, I want to be here by this date, and some of the times that's arbitrary, realistically. And you gotta check yourself. I think that's been a period of where I've been at and why I've been so ghost. A realignment period, a period of looking over how I've been moving, how can I move differently? Looking at the doors that are open and the doors that maybe I wasn't particularly keen on walking through, per se. So, with that said, I'm writing a book. I'm writing a book. I won't give y'all a title, but it really is in the same vein of what I always speak on, which is recognizing who you are, what you are, the power within yourself, seeing the duality in that, right? The antagonistic end, because with the positive comes the negative. And I think self-realization is understanding both ends and acceptance of both ends, right? And there's some ways that we can push past it, some ways that we can critique ourselves, some questions to really ask yourself in those moments of turmoil and even in those moments of success, to put yourself in position to hone your discipline and to use your networks and to believe in yourself. We're creative beings, man. It's so much that we can do in today's day and age to multiply yourself, to create wealth, and to sit in a space of poverty, or to be in a place of impoverishedness, to feel poor, right? To feel broke. My mama used to always say, you're not broke, son. To be broke means that you have no use, no capability. And I guess, it's always that power in the tongue situation, how you speak on yourself, not only externally, but internally. Just as when you speak, vibrations travel and they don't stop when you can't hear it no more. They continue on. That goes into the world. But internally, it reverberates magnitudes that we can't even tend to fathom, right? So, that's where I am, putting it all down on paper, because I find myself repeating the same things to people and even needing brush ups myself, reminder of who I am, what I stand for, because every day is a new challenge. And I know we can all attest to that, and I want to be able to say, hey, maybe check out my book, you know, um, Here's an excerpt. If you think it's for you, you know, whatever. And so I think that's a great good to put out into the world. Ultimately, I feel like a big part of purpose for me is to put forth my best leg, to be a contributor of prosperity, of wealth, of positivity, right? We all fall, and I think we all need help. And to put that into the world, that's where I'm at. Oh, oh. I got cut off there for various reasons, but I think it's them blessings coming in. But said to say, that's where I am right now. Yeah, that's where I am right now, wanting to put good out into the world. And I don't think it's just that we all fall. I think realistically, where we're getting our programming from, the way the society is lined up, and the way that we look at life as a society, as a whole, it's pretty messed off. And the reality of it is, I believe each and every one of us knows the power of discipline, of delayed gratification, of sacrifice, right? But for whatever reason, we go for the easier choice. We go for the momentary bliss, right? Fleeting bliss. And I don't want to perpetuate that. So I really have personally, right? If I'm going to profess this to people, as well as write this book for people, I'm doing it also for myself. So, you know, as Jordan Peterson says, clean your room first, right? So I think that's another thing that's been going on for me when I've been away, is taking time to pick myself apart, to be honest with myself, and to lock in, you know, put away some of the distractions that that I have. And you know, I think that's another thing to talk on. People may not want to admit their distractions, right? To admit their habits, their addictions. I'm not immune to that. I think I'm a lot more vocal and open about it, for sure, you know. The way I look at it, if I can't be honest with myself, who can I be honest with, right? And why do I have to lie to anybody, right? One of my bigger addictions is books, and I think that is a weird thing for me because I'm dyslexic, right? I didn't really get into books until recently, but and I say recently meaning like the last 5 years or so, but you know, to that end, you know, I could go on and on about the things that are, you know, transpiring in the world. I think we all could. I'll leave it on a personal, you know, positive tip. Don't give up on yourself. Believe in yourself. Hold yourself accountable. If you do nothing but grind towards your goal, reassess yourself and your positive. All right, so listen, future me, right? Ignore the creaky chair. Future me, right? I tried to record this video through and through, and there were various, I don't know, technical difficulties, right? So this is me like 3 days later, because life goes on and I got things going on and, you know, work and whatnot. But said to say, to the point that kept trying to be cut off, we don't stop. We keep grinding, we persevere, right? So the end off message I do believe is, if you keep assessing yourself and anything that you have going on, your ups, your downs, your negatives, and you grinding, there is no reason why you won't be successful. So keep showing up. Show up. Find your community. Do good to others. Others will do good to you. You know, dare I say, turn the other cheek, because half the time it ain't worth it. You know, keep grinding, keep being positive, man. I'm gonna do my best to check in with y'all. I'm investing my time, you know, my funds in lucrative spaces right now, and it's a gamble. You know what I'm saying? But educated. So I'm sort of tied up, but I have much in store. So be on the lookout, you know, for updates about this book. And I got a lot of topics that I wanna touch on. You know, the world's a crazy place, and I think to cultivate a space where we can be present for one another is a beautiful thing. So that said, peace. Don't pause life. Keep going.